Praise be Jesus and Mary. We're in the liturgical season of Lent now, and the pillars or practices for Lent are prayer, fasting, and almsgiving. In terms of almsgiving, performing any type of work of mercy, that's actually an alms. It's a form of almsgiving. It could be a spiritual work, could be a corporal work of mercy. Either way, we're giving alms when we're doing that, and we're giving of ourselves to those who are in need of assistance. It's in this spirit of almsgiving that I want to share a story with you today, which I think is an example of this. It might not be, but I think it is. A couple of weekends ago, I was helping out at St. John's Parish in Osgood, about 2 hours east from here. I was actually there at the parish 3 out of the 4 weekends, filling in for the pastor, who'd gone to India to visit his family for the month. So I was staying overnight there at the parish Saturdays and Sunday. First 2 weekends, I slept in a room on the 2nd floor of the rectory. There were 2 empty bedrooms basically across the hall from each other on that 2nd floor. And those first 2 weekends, I noticed that when I got up in the morning, it was still dark, but when I got up in the morning on Sunday, the room in the bedroom across the hall from me that had the light turned on every morning. I thought that was a bit strange because the lights weren't on when I went to bed at night, but I figured there must be a timer on the light, and so it must turn on at night just to make people think that maybe there's someone in the rectory there. Again, the lights in the room weren't on when I went to bed. So this last weekend, which was about 2 weekends, it was 2 weekends ago, I was there at St. John's again in Osgood, and I got there on Saturday, the Feast of Our Lady of Lourdes, February 11th. At nighttime on Saturday, I remembered what had happened the previous 2 weekends that I was there. So I thought, well, just to be sure, I'll pray a prayer that I have from the exorcist of the Archdiocese. Father Vincent Lampert, actually a few years ago, sent out a prayer that all the priests in the Archdiocese could pray, an exorcism prayer to ward off evil spirits in buildings, specifically. Thought you never know, right? Plus, I don't like the idea of sleeping in a building that may be infested with demons. Doesn't really appeal to me. One of my patrons is St. John Vianney. I remember what he had to deal with in his rectory at times with the devil. So I said, well, just to make sure, let's bless this place. And the rectory I was staying in, it's probably about 100 years old or so. I know the church, the cornerstones of the church was built in 1913. I think the rectory is probably about the same age, so you never know what goes on in a rectory over 100 years, right? The exorcism prayer is basically a 2-page prayer. So you pray the first page in the common room of whatever the dwelling is, and then you go around to the different rooms, you flip the page over, and you pray the other part in each of the individual rooms. You bless the rooms, you sprinkle them with holy water. So I did that. Started downstairs and blessed all the rooms there. Then I headed upstairs to the bedrooms. It was about 10:30, 10:45 at night, so it was already pretty dark. I don't like being in dark buildings alone. This reminds me of my childhood when I was saying, well, this is a little scary, but got to do it, right? So I first went upstairs, and I went into that bedroom that the light was turning on at night by themselves. So I turned the light on in that bedroom, said the prayer, did the blessing, holy water, turned the light off, went to the next bedroom, the one where I was staying, same thing. Turn the light on, prayer, holy water, blessing, turn the light off. I did that to the other rooms in the 2nd floor. I skipped the bathroom. I said, I don't think you need it for the bathroom. I said, exorcism prayer. No, it's okay. I did it in the last room, which was the recreation room. Same thing. Turn the light on, blessing, prayer, holy water, light off. Going down the corridor, back towards the stairwell, and I stopped at the bathroom. I said, well, I know in the morning I do plan on taking a shower here, so let me just say the prayer, just to make sure, right? So what do? I'm standing in the hallway, and the hallway's not very long, so it's a pretty short, it's a small building. I'm standing in the hallway, so I reach in, I hit the light on for the bathroom. It's one of those lights that has 2 prongs on it, so you hit the one side for on, you hit the other one for off. It's kind of an older fashioned light. I hit the light on in the bathroom, and the light in the bedroom goes on, the bedroom that's in the corner where the light was going on in the other previous weekends. And I said, well, that's interesting. I turned the light off in the bathroom, go over to the bedroom, turn the light off, come back to the bathroom in the hallway, turn the light on again, and the light in the bedroom comes on again. So I'm saying, so two things are happening, right? One, I'm getting a little scared. Two, I'm thinking, this prayer is supposed to work, right? I mean, this is an exorcism prayer. This is actually supposed to be working. But okay, what do? I say the prayer for the bathroom. I actually, prayer, blessing, holy water, turn the light off. And I said, and the other light doesn't turn off. So I said, I'm not sleeping up here tonight. Grabbed the pillows from the bed where I was staying and the comforter, and I went downstairs. I left the light on in that bedroom. I'm not going to turn it off and then have it turn on again, because then I'll probably run out the door. When I was young, again, never liked being in a house where there was dark and I was alone, so I was remembering all of that. Go downstairs to the office to sleep, and basically there's no rooms down there. There's no beds down there, so I sleep on the floor. Put myself on the floor in the bedroom, in the office room. There's a statue of Our Lady on a little table next to that. So I said, it's kind of a safe place. So I put myself there, a little bit further away from the statue, just in case something knocks it over at night. You never know what's going to happen, right? Actually did manage to get an hour or two of sleep. While I was sleeping, actually, I had a dream. They typically say don't put too much stock into dreams, and that's true in general. But in the dream, I actually had, there was someone who had died in the rectory who was asking for prayers in my dream. So I was dreaming that, and it was kind of a strange dream, but that was the big message. And I woke up from that on the floor again, and I said, well, that would kind of make sense if that's the case, why the exorcism prayer doesn't work. I'm not dealing with demons here, right? The problem's not demons. Maybe there's a soul. Maybe there are some souls in purgatory asking for prayers. When I was laying on the floor, and sometimes this happens, it all just kind of made sense to me, or at least pieces come together. So the light, what does it do? It comes on in a bedroom. What's a bedroom for? For sleeping, right? What does Jesus call death in the Gospels? He calls it sleep, right? What does he say in John's Gospel? He says, our friend Lazarus has fallen asleep. I'm going to go wake him out of his sleep, he says, John 11:11. What do we call the places where we bury our dead? We actually call them cemeteries. What is a cemetery? What's that mean? It means a resting place. Actually, in the old world, in the ancient world, they would call them necropolises, which is the place of the dead. Christians changed it. Cemeteries, resting places, because it's a place for rest. If there's a bedroom and the light's on, what is that telling you? There's someone in there who's not resting, right? So I thought to myself, that kind of describes the holy souls. They're in the resting place, but they're not resting at the same time. Kind of made sense to me. All these pieces come to me as I'm half asleep on the floor there. And so what do? I begin saying Hail Marys and say, well, if there's a soul or souls in purgatory asking for prayers, I'll offer up Hail Marys for them. I'll offer up my sleeping on the floor, too, as a penance for them, or for her or him. I don't know who it might have been. So I get up in the morning at 6 o'clock, a few hours later, basically. Go upstairs. I was convinced by now, okay, there are probably no evil spirits here. The light in the bedroom is still on as I go up there, but I said I'm going to take a shower, so I'm just going to do it. Go into the bathroom, turn the light on in the bathroom. Actually, know what I do. First thing I do, I come up the stairs, I turn that light off. The bedroom light, I turn it off. I'm just going to turn it off. Okay. Now I go to the bathroom, turn the light on in the bathroom. The bedroom light actually stays off this time. So that's encouraging, right? So go in, take a shower, come out, turn the light off in the bathroom. The light in the bedroom doesn't turn on again, so I'm feeling pretty safe about this. Go downstairs, begin my prayers before Mass, and go forward with the day. Take that illustration for what it's worth as far as almsgiving goes. I emailed the pastor actually there, and I told him kind of what happened, and I wanted to get his take on it. He hasn't responded to me yet. My sense is he probably read the email and said, this guy's a few clowns short of a circus, probably, right? Just missing a few things. So just want to share with you a couple of things regarding almsgiving, about what the saints have said regarding the souls in purgatory. And we'll end with that. St. Francis de Sales tells us this. He says, to assist the souls in purgatory is to perform the most excellent of the works of mercy, or rather it is to practice in the most sublime manner all the works of mercy put together. It is to visit the sick. It is to give drink to those who thirst for the vision of God. It is to feed the hungry, to ransom prisoners, to clothe the naked, to procure for poor exiles the hospitality of heavenly Jerusalem. It is to comfort the afflicted, to instruct the ignorant. In the end, it's to practice all the works of mercy in one, says St. Francis de Sales. To that, Aquinas added, he said, suffrages for the dead are more agreeable to God than suffrages for the living, because the former, the dead, stand in more urgent need of them, not being able to assist themselves, as the living can do, as we can do. And St. Bridget of Sweden lastly said that it was revealed to her that if you help deliver a soul from purgatory, you'll actually have the same merit as if you delivered Jesus Christ himself from captivity, said St. Bridget. That's how generous God is with those who can't help themselves, with those of us who help those who can't help themselves. So if we're unsure about what type of almsgiving we should practice this Lent, how about helping the holy souls in purgatory with prayers, sacrifices, with masses? I think it's a good idea to do that. Let's ask Our Lady on this Saturday for the grace to help us hear how the Lord is speaking to us and to be able to respond with joy and generosity to whatever form of almsgiving that we're inspired to do in this penitential season. Praise be Jesus and Mary, now and forever.